Mini enthusiasts, how are you doing? I hope you're all well and I hope you're having a great day. Thanks for tuning back in. This is part 7 of the Madgwick build, and we start out here not showing the Madgwick actually, showing one of the other historic Cooper racing cars down at Swiftune. In the early episodes people were asking about the chrome trim on the side of the car and how easy it looked to fit. So I think Alex has just videoed this just to show a little bit more detail of one being fitted. But certainly in the Madgwick video, Alex went and picked the trim up off the shelf and it was already moulded into shape and cut, and he just put it on and it did look very, very easy. So obviously this is just showing a little bit more of the detail behind it because they can be a bit tricky to fit. I mentioned in the last episode that the Madgwick, the plan was for it to be at the Goodwood Revival, but unfortunately the car wasn't quite finished. But as of today, I think it's completely built up now and is just having sort of the final finishing touches done, and just a snagging and making sure everything's okay before it gets handed back to Mark to make sure it's perfect. This could be one of the last episodes of the build, I think. Like I say, I'm never sure what footage that we've got filmed until I get it to edit and upload to YouTube, but I think looking at what we've got today, it's pretty much there. So last episode you'd have seen the engine being built up and tuned on the rolling road, and here the engine's obviously being installed into the car. You'll notice there the first thing to be connected up is the speedo cable. That's going to be the same on any mini engine you do because it's a real pain to get to it down the back of the engine, so it's one of the first things to go back on just before you lower the engine down. There were some comments in the previous video with the engine being on the dyno of the power it was making. So I think it was around about 99 brake horsepower, maybe even just a little bit over 100. But I would say just bear in mind that wasn't an out and out power run. That was just getting the engine set up and tuned. And I'm sure it's probably capable of a little bit more, but this is not really a car that's built for out and out power. I'm sure it will be a very quick car because they're not very heavy, and anything over 100 brake horsepower in a Mini is plenty to have fun with. But it's more about the rest of the setup with the car, how the suspension and steering is all set up, the types of sort of wheels and tyres that are used. They all sort of contribute to the overall drivability of the car. And this is a road going car as opposed to a track car or a race car. So I hope you've all enjoyed this build series. Like I say, I think this might be one of the last episodes of the build. There might be one more build, and then there'll be bit of an unveiling video and then showing you around the car in detail, and maybe we'll get a chance to do a bit of in-car footage of the car driving so you can see sort of first-hand how it is once it's all come together. But I really hope you've enjoyed the series. Please remember to give it a thumbs up if you'd enjoyed it. Leave a comment if there's something you want to know. Might not be able to get back to you straight away, might have to go and ask Swiftune, but we can respond to your comments. And please consider subscribing if you're not a subscriber. So following this build series, I guess there is still more to come on Project Bruce, a lot more. Project Kit is coming back to me to be converted from an automatic to a manual. And the good news is Mark now has the floor for the Mark III Cooper S, and he's built a jig, so the reassembly of that car will start again very soon. Now, final touches going in on the interior here. I think some of you may have correctly guessed the colour of the interior in the car, but we'll get to see the seats in a moment. It is a little bit different. It's not standard. It wouldn't have come, a Cooper S wouldn't have come as new in that colour combination. But obviously this is Mark's build, it's built to his taste, and he wanted to do something just a little bit different. There have also been some queries in the past. So the idea with a Madgwick is it's meant to be a cheaper alternative to a Cooper S, but this car is actually a Cooper S. It's a proper genuine Cooper S shell. The engine and gearbox and running gear are all Cooper S, so it will be registered as a Cooper S. So I think this is the first glimpse of the seats and the colour combination we've seen. I think it looks really good. I can't wait to see it in the flesh. I especially love the instrument binnacle in the middle with the additional auxiliary gauges. That looks really cool. I really like that.